You know that feeling, right? Where
Yeah.
you just sense there's more, like
Yeah.
a better way to operate.
Mm-hmm.
What if the key wasn't some huge life change, but just one small thing, one consistent action?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're diving into today, this whole fascinating idea of keystone habits
Right.
and how, a single change can sort of ripple out, transform lots of different areas in your life.
It's a really powerful idea, actually. Think of it less like trying to fix everything at once
Okay.
and more about finding that one key habit,
The linchpin.
the linchpin.
Yeah.
And when that starts to shift, you often see these, well, surprising positive changes in places you weren't even really focusing on. It's like finding the first domino,
Yeah, the nudge that sets everything else off.
Exactly. Sets the whole sequence going.
And what's really interesting is we're not just talking about any old routine, like, I don't know, having your morning coffee or something.
No.
The material we've been digging into, it really highlights habits that go, well, deeper.
Much deeper.
Ones that actually start to change how you see yourself, what you think you're capable of.
Right. And that feels fundamental, doesn't it?
It really does.
Exactly. Think about the example of someone who decides, okay, I'm going to start exercising regularly.
Okay, yeah.
It's usually not just about the physical side, is it?
Right.
What often happens, almost like automatically,
Uh-huh.
is they start paying more attention to what they eat, how they sleep.
Ah, yeah.
That first commitment, the exercise, it sort of creates this investment in their well-being overall.
Right, like a knock-on effect.
Precisely. It leads to those other positive choices.
We saw some really practical examples of these potential keystone habits.
Yeah.
Things like journaling
Mm-hmm.
or just setting your alarm a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
giving yourself some space,
Yeah, even reading like 10 pages a day.
or making your bed. Sounds simple, but yeah.
It's about finding that one thing, isn't it? That seems small but has this bigger impact.
Outsized impact, yeah.
Which naturally brings us to a pretty crucial question for anyone listening.
Yeah.
What's that one habit for you? The one that if you really stuck with it could actually change everything. Because the patterns we see suggest these habits. They tend to spread out. They touch lots of parts of your life.
Not just one isolated box.
Exactly. And importantly, they often connect with the kind of person you actually want to be.
That really reframes that feeling of being stuck,
It does, doesn't it?
Instead of like blaming yourself, oh, I don't have enough willpower.
Right. Beating yourself up.
Yeah. Maybe the focus should just be on finding that one point, that high leverage action.
It's less about trying to force change everywhere at once.
Which is exhausting.
Totally exhausting. And more about finding the right place to put in a little bit of energy for, a big return.
Yeah.
There's a useful way to think about it, maybe. Imagine your life is like a complicated machine.
Okay.
If things aren't working quite right, it might not be that every single part is broken.
Right.
It could just be that one key gear that's your keystone habit isn't turning properly.
The main driver.
Yeah. Get that one moving smoothly.
Uh-huh.
And suddenly you see this cascade. Other parts start to click into place.
We saw that so clearly with the meditation example, didn't we? Just 10 minutes a day.
Sounds almost too simple.
It does. But the insights we gathered showed how that small investment, it can lead to real, tangible stuff.
Like what?
Like less stress, genuinely better sleep, more patience, dealing with people day to day,
Yeah.
sharper decisions even, and just this overall feeling of being a bit more in control.
That's a huge return for 10 minutes.
Exactly. It's a pretty amazing return.
And then there was the morning walk example, too. Another compelling one.
Yeah, not like a marathon or anything.
No, not a strenuous workout. Just that intentional movement, getting outside.
Fresh air, bit of light.
Yeah. It can have such a profound effect on your energy, your clarity, your mood.
Takes you from just getting by to feeling good.
Exactly. Shifting from just surviving to actually thriving.
And it highlights that point again. Sometimes the best changes aren't about adding more stuff,
Right.
but adding that one key thing that makes everything else just flow better, easier.
Okay, so this idea of one habit being powerful is great. But what takes it, to the next level?
Well, that's where building structure comes in.
Structure, like routines.
Exactly. Our sources really, really emphasize creating systems and routines around that keystone habit.
Right, to make it stick.
That's the goal, making lasting change more likely. Because motivation,
Yeah.
it's great to start with, right?
Yeah, it gets you going.
But it's, let's be honest, Pretty unreliable long-term.
Totally. It comes and goes.
Life happens. Enthusiasm dips. That's where the system takes over.
Oh,
It gives you that framework. It helps you stay consistent, almost on autopilot,
right.
even when you don't feel like it, regardless of your motivation that day.
I like the analogy of the train on the track.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Once you've laid the tracks, that's your system, right?
Mm-hmm.
For your Keystone habit, the train, it just needs to keep going.
Yeah.
You're not constantly deciding, should I do it? How should I do it? Every single time.
Exactly. The structure guides you, takes the decision fatigue away.
Right. Reduces friction.
Let's go back to the writing example. Say that's your Keystone habit.
Yeah.
Writing every morning.
Okay.
Your system might be, okay, same wake-up time, always.
Right. Non-negotiable.
Notebook or laptop, ready to go, in the same spot.
Got it.
Maybe you even get the coffee ready the night before.
Ah, reducing those little barriers.
Yeah, exactly. By creating that whole routine, you minimize the effort, the thinking. It just becomes far easier to actually do the writing consistently.
And here's where it gets really, profound, I think.
Go on.
Doing that habit consistently with the system supporting it, it can actually shift your identity.
Ah, yes. The identity piece.
Crucial.
You start to see yourself differently, don't you? Not just someone who wants to write.
Someone who's a writer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You are a writer because you write every day. And that internal shift, that change in how you see yourself, that's what fuels the long-term change, the deeper transformation.
Yeah. It goes way beyond just relying on willpower then.
Way beyond.
Yeah.
The material we looked at really stresses this power of, designing your world.
Designing your world. How so?
Your environment, your schedule, your daily routines, making them line up with the person you're trying to become.
Okay, so it's proactive.
Very proactive. There's a great quote, something like, you don't rise to the level of your goals.
Okay.
You fall to the level of your systems.
Wow. Okay. That hits home.
Doesn't it? It just nails the idea that real sustainable change needs that solid foundation, those supportive structures.
Yeah, the system catches you when the motivation dips.
Precisely.
We also came across some really great stories, didn't we? People who actually did this.
Really brought it to life, like James, software engineer.
Right. He started journaling just 5 minutes before bed. Seems tiny.
Tiny!
Yeah.
But it gave him that space, that reflection time. And he started noticing patterns, stress levels, sleep quality.
And that led to other things.
Yeah, naturally. He just started making healthier choices elsewhere because he was more aware.
Wow. Okay. And Melissa?
Melissa. Busy parent, feeling totally overwhelmed, run down.
Yeah, relatable.
Her Keystone habit, a daily morning walk. That was it.
Just a walk.
Just a walk. Started as just getting some fresh air, maybe some headspace. But that dedicated time just for her boosted her mood, her energy. So much so that it actually created the mental space for her to go after this dream she'd had for ages, starting her own business.
From a morning walk. That's amazing.
It is. Shows the ripple effect, right?
Totally. And Daniel, he'd had a setback.
Yeah, Daniel felt stuck, like he was going nowhere after something didn't work out.
Okay.
His commitment, reading just 10 pages a day.
10 pages. Consistent.
Small, consistent learning. And it compounded. Over time, it rebuilt his confidence, his knowledge base.
And led him somewhere new.
Completely new path. Back to education, whole new career. It's just... Yeah, that first domino again.
These stories really nail it. That power of the first domino tipping over.
They really do. So for you listening right now, this is maybe a good moment to pause and reflect.
Yeah.
What is one habit, just one, that you could realistically start, maybe even today, that feels like it has that potential to unlock some real positive change for you?
And the possibilities we saw were quite varied, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, loads. Could be carving out that personal time in the morning.
Or something physical, like drinking more water, maybe.
Yeah.
Stretching.
Sure. Or writing, reading, like Daniel. Meditation, walking, like Melissa.
Even just praying or planning your day, calling someone you care about.
All potential keystones. It depends on the person.
It's about finding the one that resonates, isn't it? The one that, if you did it, would start to shift how you see yourself.
That's a core question. What's the one small action that connects with who you want to become?
Take a second now, maybe. Just think about that.
Yeah. And the really crucial part, as we've seen again and again,
start small.
Start ridiculously small. Make it so easy. It feels almost silly.
Like you can't not do it.
Exactly. The aim is consistency, right? Not intensity, especially at the start.
So 1 push-up, not 50.
Right. 2 minutes of meditation, not 30. Reading one page, not a whole chapter.
Because that underlying idea is just so clear, isn't it?
What's that?
Small, consistent actions beat massive, inconsistent ones. Every time.
Every single time. It's about building that proof to yourself, showing up.
Okay, so you pick your tiny habit, then what? Build the system.
And you build the system around it. Yep. Track your progress somehow, even just a tick on a calendar.
Celebrate the wins.
Absolutely. Acknowledge those small successes. Even just doing it for one day is a win.
Integrate it.
Yeah.
Like link it to something you already do.
Yeah, stack it onto an existing habit. And maybe create a little ritual around it. Make it feel more automatic, more established.
Because ultimately what the evidence seems to show is, well, the person you want to be. They're kind of already inside you, just waiting for you to take that first tiny step to get the wheels turning.
Yeah. The insights we've gone through today leave us with some really, I think, empowering final thoughts. Like, you're not stuck. You're not broken. You're not behind.
That's good to hear.
You might just be one habit away, one deliberate choice away from a really significant shift in where things are going.
Well, so it's not about changing everything all at once.
No, it's about focus. Focusing your energy on that one point of leverage.
And letting the positive stuff just unfold.
Exactly. Let it ripple outward.
Okay, so here's a challenge then. A direct call to action based on all this.
Let's hear it.
Right after this deep dive finishes, take 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Literally 1 minute.
Okay.
Pinpoint your Keystone habit, the tiny version. Write it down.
Got it.
Figure out the ridiculously simple first step.
Yeah.
And commit. Just for the next 7 days.
Yeah.
1 week.
Just 7 days.
Doable.
Totally doable.
And as you do that week,
yeah.
pay attention.
Just notice things. Observe any subtle ripple effects. See if your confidence shifts, even slightly, as you keep that promise to yourself.
Be open to unexpected changes.
Yeah. Be open to how life might start to shift, even in small ways you didn't predict.
Because, like, the material really reminds us so powerfully.
Yeah.
You are powerful. You are capable. You are ready. You're not far from where you want to be. You're not lost. You're just one habit away.
One habit away.
Let's make it happen. Your new life is waiting. Start now.
Love that.
Yeah.
Real call to action, start now.
Yeah.
And maybe one final thought to leave people mulling over.
Okay, give us something to chew on.
How might focusing on and really nailing just one Keystone habit, how could that be the surprising key, the catalyst, to achieving some other big goal you have, something that seems totally unrelated on the surface?
That's interesting, the unexpected connection.
Yeah. How could that one small gear turn the whole machine in a new direction? Something to think about.